our Center for in Teaching and Learning. And just to kind of give you an idea of what we're doing today, we are going to go through Tech2Go, Canvas Confidence, and just a little bit more about CETL, just for your information purposes. We are the powerhouse and support system behind Canvas, our learning management system. So anytime you have questions or issues as it relates to Canvas, we do hope that you will reach out to us. Our goals for the day today are to kind of give you some tips and tricks for navigating through the system, to learn a little bit more about Canvas and to give you a head start. I am joined today by Rebecca Miller, who's our educational technology specialist. So anytime you do send in a help request, or anytime you do connect with the CETL team, chances are you're going to be interacting with Rebecca. And she is the queen of the show, if you will. She is going to take over and explain what this session's about, what the goals are, and that kind of thing. But I do want to reiterate, please reach out if you do have questions or need assistance. That's what we are here for. So take it away, Rebecca.
Just to echo what Naomi was saying, y'all are very welcome to come by the office if you're on campus. You can email us, submit a help request. We'll go over how to do all that in the last slide, but just don't be shy. Don't ever feel like your question is too big or too small. I've seen it all and I'm happy to help. All right, so to get started, this is our Tech2Go Canvas Confidence course. And I hope that if anybody has any questions that y'all will let me know, and we will move swiftly along. So to just kind of get started, as a little bit of an icebreaker, I'm curious, how comfortable is everyone with the idea of using Canvas? Have you used anything like it before in your past courses? Do you feel a little scared about it, not comfortable, or do you just have like no idea? If anybody feels comfortable, let me know. Does anybody in the room not feel comfortable? Or not sure?
Well, if you give me some math.
That's all right. No, I really can't. I wish I could, but you do not want to come to me for math help. HTML, sure, but not math. But yeah, either way, no matter how you're feeling today, you're in the right place. And like I said before, you're more than welcome to come by, ask me questions anytime. I am happy to help with this kind of stuff. We're all new to things, you know? So anyway, excellent. Alrighty, so today's goals, we're going to learn how to open Canvas, how to find it, navigate the dashboard, how to locate your instructor syllabus so that you can get an idea of what your course is going to look like throughout the semester, and most importantly, how to contact your instructor. Then we're going to learn how to know your due dates for all of your assignments, quizzes, exams, projects, essays, all that good stuff. How to turn in those assignments. And then finally, if you run into any trouble, you have some kind of issue, where to find support, how to reach out to us, how to reach out to Canvas itself. So we are going to head out of this. We are, let's see. Doesn't look like it's going to let me hide that, but it shouldn't be in the way. This is what your Canvas dashboard may look like by default. As you can see, it's a little bit hard to parse. There's really not a whole lot of information here. You would think that you'd be able to see all of your courses. However, if you don't have any upcoming assignments or quizzes, if there are no announcements or notifications, it's going to look pretty empty like mine currently does. So instead of using this view, which is called the list view, I recommend that at the top right-hand corner of the screen, you click on your 3 dots and then you select card view instead. Because as you can see, these icons are a little bit easier to kind of go through, easier to identify what your classes are. And you also have the added benefit of being able to see these icons on each of the course tiles. Those icons are going to let you know if you have any new announcements, any assignments that are due, any comments on your submissions, things like that. So it's a great way to kind of get updates at a glance. And on the right-hand side here, you also have a to-do list that lets you know what assignments are coming up. And then of course the coming up section It's more of the same. And then if you want, you can also click the View Grade screen, and it's going to take you to a view where you can get a summary of how you're doing in all of your courses. I'll get back to that in a little while, once I'm in the student view. What we're gonna do is we are gonna pick our Tech2Go course. Just click on that tile. And I'm gonna put myself in student view. And this is what the front page of your Canvas course is going to look like. There's a couple of things to note here. At the very top, you have your announcements. You can click on the title of that announcement to see what your teacher is trying to tell you. This is a great way for your instructor to let you know of any upcoming assignments, any updates at all. So I would recommend keeping an eye at the very top of your Canvas course and take a look and just make sure that you're checking the announcements and that you don't miss that, because that's a really great way for your instructor to reach out to you. And then also on the right-hand side here is a to-do list, just like we saw at the main screen, but this one is specifically for your course. And then the next thing that I wanted to go over was the syllabus. Now your syllabus, like I said, is where you can find all kinds of helpful information about our support services, student policies. You can find links to all kinds of information here, including at the end of your course evaluation survey link is very important to your instructor. So we really appreciate if you all are able to fill that out at the end of the semester. But let's get back up here to the syllabus. You'll find your course name, instructor's name, and then the link to the downloadable or printable course syllabus. If you click on this link, it's going to pop open a new window where you're going to be able to read, download, and print the syllabus for your course. So at the very top here, it tells you more about the modality, the dates and times that you're going to be meeting. If there is a room number, that will be on the syllabus too. But the most important thing that I want to point out is that this is how your instructor is going to let you know how they want to be contacted. Some instructors prefer Canvas inbox. Some prefer that you reach out to them via email. But if you're going to reach out to them via email, it's very important that you do so from your student Gmail account, which ends in email.vccs.edu. Now, the other thing is, if your instructor puts their phone number there, then that means you can contact them via phone. They'll.
Excuse me.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, sorry, thought someone had a question. Anyway, Zoom links can also be found here, but yeah, so this is where your instructor will let you know how they prefer that you reach out to them. So this is very important to know. Let's go ahead and close out of the syllabus. Now, the next thing we need to do is figure out due dates. The modules page is where all of the reading materials, quizzes, assignments, exams, essays, it's all going to be here in order. So to start with, we have our first module where you can meet your instructor, do introductions with your classmates online. There will be all kinds of helpful resources up here. Speaking of resources, if you ever feel lost, on the left-hand side of your navigation menu is a link to the Laurel Ridge resources page. And this has all kinds of helpful information about the technology that you use to complete your coursework. So for example, if you have any questions about Respondus, let's say you need to download Google Chrome, or you want to learn more about our virtual computing lab, you can do so from this page. But again, all you have to do is click on that star on the left-hand side to find this. Let's head on back over to the modules. So for week 1, it looks like we have an introduction page. There's a couple of different ways that you can navigate this. You can either click on each item one at a time, read through the materials that your instructor has shared with you, and at the bottom, if you want to, you can hit that next button to continue on to the next item. Read through that material, watch any videos or any additional things that your instructor has shared, and then hit next. As you move along through each module, we'll head back over to the module page. Canvas is going to help you keep track of everything that you have viewed, every assignment that you've completed. with little check marks to the right of it. So as you flow through the page and you complete all of the things that your instructor asks you to, Canvas will help you keep track of it and easily and quickly at a glance. So now as we're moving through, let's go ahead and take a look at some due dates. Maybe a little hard to see. I'll try to increase my font size here. But underneath each assignment name is the date that it's due, the amount of points that it's worth, and whether or not you've submitted it. Let's keep on scrolling, and I'm going to find an assignment for us to upload something to, so I can walk you through that. Let's go ahead and click on Activity 2.1. Okay, so you're going to have a lot of information here that's very helpful to you at a glance. First, you have your due date, so you can tell exactly what date and time you have to complete your assignment, the number of points that it's worth, and how your instructor wants you to submit that file. If you scroll down, you'll see the instructions that your instructor has written out, what they want you to do, what they're looking for, any guidance that they have for the assignment. When you're ready, go ahead and click Start Assignment. And Canvas is going to give you the option to drag a file, choose the file to upload. This depends again on how your instructor sets up the assignment, but assuming that your instructor wanted you to upload, I don't know, let's say a Google Doc or a Microsoft Word document, you just click on that. Let's head over to my flash drive and we'll upload a document. Now, if you want to leave a comment along with your submission file, you can go ahead and say, this is my homework. Now, this is not a very good space for you to necessarily ask urgent questions, but if you want to leave a comment, let's say you're not sure about something, you can leave it there. Your instructor will also have the ability to leave comments as well. When you click Submit Assignment, you're going to get some confetti confirming that the assignment has been uploaded. And at the top right-hand corner here, you're going to see the exact date and time that you submitted your assignment, so you know for a fact that it went through. I always recommend that students check that right up there, again, just to make sure. And then you can also confirm under the submission details that your file went through. Here's the comment that we left. And if your instructor leaves a comment as well, it's going to appear on that right-hand side underneath yours. Now, not every assignment can be resubmitted. Again, that depends on your instructor and how they've set it up. But if you need to do so and the option's available, you just click that button and it's going to take you right back to the same process where you can re-upload your file. So this is just one way for you to be able to, check things and see what your grade is, any feedback that your instructor has for you. But I also want to make sure to point out the grades section here. On the left-hand side, go ahead, click Grades. And this is where we're going to see the list of all of the assignments in our course, all of the due dates and times, and then what date and time you submitted each assignment. So this is another way outside of the module screen for you to be able to see everything that is due, everything that you're responsible for submitting and completing, all in one list. Now, I'm sure you see the score column here. This is where your instructor, whenever they award a grade for your assignment, you're going to be able to keep track of it here. And again, if your instructor left any comments, or if you left any comments, you just click on that little icon and it pops up on the right-hand side. So again, you can see it in a list. If you want to print your grades, you can. It just basically puts it into a very easy to print format. Now the what if scores over here, if you'd like to see how an assignment, let's say that you're not too confident that you're going to do a good job, or you just want to see what happens if you get 100%. If you click on the score, you can type in any number that you want to see how it's going to affect your grade. But it's very important that you remember to click the revert to actual score button when you're done so that you see what your actual grades currently are like. And let's see. So that is everything that we have so far about the very, very basics of how to use and navigate Canvas. Now the question is, what do you do when you need support? There are two ways. So if it's after hours or you need help immediately, you can head over down to this help button in the bottom left-hand corner. There's a couple different options. You can search the Canvas guides. Canvas guides are, well, I mean, what it sounds like. They're guides. Canvas has a really helpful website. If you click on Canvas LMS, view all resources, and then scroll down to the student section, you're going to find all kinds of very helpful guides, videos, getting started, but the student guide is what I really like to go through. Sometimes whenever I answer students' questions and they come in, I like to send the guide afterwards so that, just so that you remember what steps you need to take in order to accomplish a task. This is super duper helpful for that. So I always recommend having this, handy so that if you are not sure about something, you can try to help yourself first. And then, if you're still stuck or something's not clear, you can reach out to me anytime and I'll be there to help. The other thing that you can do is you can give Canvas support a call. This is a 24/7 hotline. So let's say 3 in the morning, your assignment is just not uploading, you're getting some kind of weird error, and you need to do it as quickly as possible. You can give them a call, or you can even open up a live chat if you prefer. Now, the other thing that I want to mention is, just like I said earlier, if you're on campus, or heck, even if you're not on campus, we have a bunch of different ways for you to reach out to us at the CEDL office. You can send us an email at cedl@laurelridge.edu. Again, you can visit us at the Middletown campus. We're just right here, Middletown, Virginia, Cornerstone Hall, room 405. Or if you want, you can submit an online help request, kind of like an IT ticket, sort of. The help request is great because it helps us gather all the information about a potential issue that you might be running through. Helps us gather error messages, screenshots, things like that. But again, if you're not sure, you can always either email or come to the office in person. And if you come to the office in person, you are always more than welcome to bring your laptop or your iPad, especially if you're having an issue. It really helps us to be able to diagnose the issue on your device as it's happening. So yeah, I would say go ahead and bookmark the help request page, add the CEDL email address to your address book. And if you want to contact me directly, my email address, well, my full name is Rebecca Miller, so my email address is rmiller@laurelridge.edu. And that's everything I've got. So does anybody have any questions? Hey there.
I'm always having trouble getting to my quiz in my math course.
Gotcha.
And even cause I've got one of those loaners from the library. And I've tried everything, and I just seem I have to write down everything that I do.
Gotcha. It could be a question of how you're navigating to the quiz. What I recommend is if you are able to stop by our office maybe afterwards, I can help figure out what's going on and walk you through it.
Yeah, because the homework itself has those little blocks that you put in the answer, but the quiz is a different stuff.
I see what you mean. Yeah, quizzes are very much the same, where it kind of depends on how the instructor builds it out.
Yeah.
They might have multiple choice, they might have fill in the blank. So anytime that you run into an issue like that, like I said, definitely stop on by and we'll be able to take a closer look.
Cool.
I'm going to take a look over at our Zoom chat as well. How's everybody feeling? A little bit more confident? Good, that's awesome. I'm happy to hear it. The thing is, like I said, learning anything new is always intimidating. It's always a little scary, but with enough time and practice, repetition, you'll get that muscle memory down. And before you know it, you're going to be clicking around and you won't even be thinking about it. But yeah, thank you all for attending. I really appreciate it.